So let's talk about these things like TCP Sync Flooding. Any idea from you? What is TCP Sync Flood attacks and what they can affect in our systems? Anyone?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
I know that with TCP, we have to acknowledge when we send a, can I say frame? We have to receive and acknowledge. So TCP Sync Flood, when you send a many frame, they have to be received. I mean, they have to be acknowledged before sending the next one.
Yep. You said TCP frames, but you remember what we use term in the TCP in that layer?
TCP is layer 4. Is it segment?
Yeah, yes. So you have to be, more specific when you're saying frame, something like that. But, they use interchangeably, by the way. But for the professionals, we have to be like specific. But overall, your concept is right. This is just like denial of services attacks. Here, attacker is sending so many TCP sync, okay? Because we know for the TCP communication, we have sync, then sync ACK, and then final ACK. So basically what happens, this attacker will send only these things, sync and sync ACKs. So it's just continually saying to this system, I want to sync, and system will be saying, okay, sync ACK, but it is not gonna ACK. It is keep sending so many sync ACKs at one time in like a fraction of a second, that whatever the device that is providing kind of services, resources will not be able to entertain the users, the legitimate users. If I give you a very simple example, like in case of this, we have like wireless LAN access point. And if I send tons and tons of TCP sync floods to this access point machine. So if some legitimate administrator will try to access the landing page of this access point, he will not be able to because of these sync attacks. So basic purpose, like they are not gonna steal any kind of things. So basic idea is they are trying to you're preventing the legitimate user basically accessing their own resources. So the mitigation is you can prevent sync flood attacks by installing IPS, and we know that what IPS is. Configuring your firewalls, installing up-to-date network equipment, and installing commercial monitoring tools. And we have discussed about these all things.
Yeah, and the new techniques are that your server is under some type of cloud server. So, for example, Cloudflare is one of the biggest one out there. So let's say if you're trying to attack JSS job scale share, Cloudflare is in between the attacker and our server. So if the sync flood is attacking this site, in between there's another layer, that's a cloud layer, right? So if it find out that this is not a right connection, so it's going to drop it even before getting to our original servers. So these are the new techniques a lot of people are using, and that actually is the way people are doing it. Even if you have some kind of blocking techniques on a Rail server, if I know that I have your Rail server now, this means I can attack it from hundreds of machines, thousands of machines if I have the capability, right? So how long is your IPS going to work for that? It's gonna also be out of what do you call it? It's just going to give up on it at some point. So this is a very important concept these days, that knowing about the cloud technologies is also crucial for a lot of these companies, because if you go to a company right now, 90% of the time you're going to find out that they're under some type of Cloudflare type of protection, and then you have to
Yeah.
see that part as well. And I think in one of my videos or demos with this video, when I upload it, I'm going to show that how this the DDoS and SYNFLRs are being managed by this type of
That's great.
solution. So I'll do that as well.
So I have also added one image which is mentioned. This is from some wireless LAN router. So this is just one single click. DOS protection. Just enable this one and that's it. So if somebody is trying to do TCP sync flood attacks to your router, they will not be able to, because this is protected machine now. This one application is known as low orbit ion cannon. Ion cannon basically. So basically you will put the IP and will log on and will launch the attack from here. So from here you can increase the size of those attacks as well.
All right, disclaimer: if you do this, you have to go to jail. Okay, just...
Yep, sure. But that's why we are not gonna do it for some website or something. I will just play with my wireless router. So what I did at this point, you are familiar with the Wireshark as well, and I'm gonna enable local area connection as well, the packet sniffing. Okay, so I will just double click on this one, and you can see the activities are going on. So what I will do, let's suppose the IP for my router is 192.168.100.1, and I need to click on the log on. So it means this target has been logged on. So what kind of attack you want to launch? You have TCP, UDP, or HTTP. So let's use TCP, and then you can mention port and the thread, these threads, how many threads, and timeout. These all things you can select, and then you even can make it like speed slower and this kind of. So I will make it like this, and I will keep open my Wireshark. Meanwhile, just a minute. This as well. So as I will hit this, you will see what is going to happen. And I will stop. Did you see some change in a fraction of a second? These you can see
that is so
these are all. I will stop it, and you can see these packets are generated. Sorry, not ACK. I can be more specific from where I started basically. From 100.3, basically this is the source of my machine is. If you want, we can use, for example, let's clear this one. We can start again, and this time we will launch only the UDP based, and you will see suddenly the effect. So UDP, the same IP, log on and click on that. So you can see how quickly the UDP packets are being generated. You can see. So I'm going to stop that one. So this is like, the attacks will be look like. You can see these are all, these packet sniffer is basically blocked by or occupied by UDP protocols, as you can see. Even no TCP communication, no HTTP communication is going on. So you can see in a fraction of a second how many packets have been sent. Let me stop this one. So you can take a look around how many packets.
6,271.
Yeah.
And
So
another way is also you can use a command line, and you guys you have to learn the netstat command. If you do netstat -n-p space TCP, that also will show you the whole list of how many are established and how many are actually not established. So that is another easy way to find out. But Wireshark is probably more detailed than that.
yep. So here you can see what I did. Basically, I just filtered that out because we had so many the other UDP information is going on as well. So if you want to distinguish, like as you can see, this UDP is going from my source to this destination, which basically is not attack. And you can check from here as well. Like this is the information or the legitimate information that is being shown here. Okay, but if I am more specific, what I can do, I know I generated this UTP flood attack from my source 100.3 to destination 100.1. So what you can do, you can right click and you can go on flow and click on UDP stream. And you can see what data is mentioned here. Goof edu. It means something suspicious is going on. If you select this one and this is byte information, you can see goofed. It means something is going on, some fishy is going on. Okay, so by sending these information or these UDP attacks to my router, if I try to access my router, the login page, I was not be able to do that because these UDP attacks were basically preventing me to access my login page. So this is how your TCP or UDP flood attack will be look like, and this is how you're gonna check from your Wireshark.
Kamran, is it possible for you to run that tool for like keep it running and run that command? I just want to see what you will see on the command line. So if you just run it and open the CMD.
The CMD?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just open your CMD and
yeah, I will ping 192.100.1 with -t. So this is how, yeah. So let's see the effect. Make it speed fast. TCP.
Are we trying to do Netstat?
Yeah. I was actually gonna see how does the TCP connection looks on the Netstat. So is there a way you can stop that command? Just go ahead and stop it, and
okay.
Just type the netstat -n -p and -t like space TCP. No, not dash. Just sorry, space.
TCP. This is
and
how.
And run that tool now. Like you have to run the tool first.
Okay. So I'm gonna use TCP and the same 192.168.100.1. Or shall I mention? Okay, that's it. Shall I launch?
Yeah, launch it, and it should be doing. Yeah, just keep flooding. So let's just enter that. So you see how where it says let me go back here. Still not showing SYN receive. It should be showing a SYN receive or SYN send, something like that, because that should be the full one. I'm not sure why, but you guys see the whole IP address right there, like the first one. That's that your IP address, right? The one that's doing the flood.
Yep. So this is the source, and you can see how many random ports are being generated.
Yeah. So look, if this is going to be your server, and you got attacked, and somebody's calling you, hey, look, we cannot do anything, and you come over here and you see one IP address is doing so many things, there's a problem going on, right? So this would be like, and then how would you block this IP address? Let's say you have no firewall right now. like outside network firewall? What do you guys, what would you do like quick right now? Like on this, let's say this is your web server, this Kamran machine is the web server, is critical, and you know it's one IP address. I want you guys as an engineer, give me a quick solution right now. How would you take care of this IP right now?
I'm scared to sound stupid, but like
Okay.
block it
You're blocking
the,
how? Where?
from the router? From the, nope.
Then it should say without using the firewall.
Without using like a network firewall. Let's say you are on this web server, you are on it right now and it's just being attacked and you have only like 2 minutes to solve this issue. I know it doesn't work that way, but remember, every machine have its own personal firewall, right?
Yes, and you say we don't use it.
I said not use the network one. Not the,
Oh, okay.
Oh, I misunderstood that also. I was like, I don't know.
Mm.
so now we have, of course, at network level, if you know where to go, that's great. But let's say you didn't know and you are like, oh my God, man, this IP address is going to kill us. Let me first take care of it. So you can just go quickly to this machine and just block it like that on this machine and boom, everything will be stopped, right?
Mhm.
All right. Did you stop flooding yourself?
Yep.
So in the beginning, he was talking about, firewall, right? So this is kind of like a modern way of doing things. Most of the companies are using it this way. So a lot of people have websites, servers, and so many different things that if I know that, okay, Hefa, you have a website and you have a server in your in this company, and I know where it's running from, it's really easy for me to attack that, right? That's your source. That's your real IP. So I can just send thousands of requests. I can send it from thousands of, let's say, requests to really exhaust that server. And what's going to happen to that server? Will it able to work or will it just go down, right? Of course, it's going to not work because all of the services are exhausted on that web browser or whatever you're using. So now tell me one thing, that if I know your website and I know your servers, IP addresses and everything, and let's say I want to attack that server, how would you manage that attack? If you feel like say I'm the attacker right now and you have a website, it's a question for both of you. How would you manage that? Like, how would you find that out? What kind of things would you try first? Anyone?
Us being the attackers?
What's that, sorry?
Sorry, can you repeat your question, please? I don't think I understood.
Sure. Let me draw this right here a little bit. So if I have,
We can't see
there. Can you guys see this now?
It's blank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
white.
So let's say this is your company. Okay. Can you guys see my drawing?
Yes.
Okay. And let's say this is your company, and inside your company, this is a server, a web server. Under this web server, you have a web server running, and here is a website that is basically accessible to the whole world. So now, question to you both is that this is your website. I know that, right? I'm an attacker right here, sitting somewhere outside of this country, and I want to attack this website. So I'm gonna find out, okay, this is your website. It's called hefa.com. I know that it's hefa.com. I can find an IP address. So by doing a simple ping and everything, I found that you are running your website under this server. So I found out that this is the IP address, the real IP of this server. If I want to attack this, let's say whatever, Sync Flood or DDoS attacks, so what would you do as a systems or network engineer? What would you do to me? Like, how would you try to figure out or try to cut me down or whatever you want to do to make sure that I don't mess this website? What would you do? What kind of things would you need to find out?
Your vulnerabilities? Like, how our system is vulnerable and where attacks can be made.
But I'm
on the
already
system.
attacking your system right now. I'm already attacking your website.
I mean, I feel like the easiest thing would be to take it offline, but I don't know if that's correct.
Let's say you can't take it offline because you have so many people that is there. Like this is an attack going. This is not hacked or anything. This is
Oh, a honeypot?
so far. Nah.
Okay, those are all my guesses.
Okay, no problem. Christelle, like you are attacking right now. You didn't hack it. You know that this is not hacked website. You're being attacked by this person, and you know it's giving you some problems because your site is getting slower because now the connections are getting filled up because of this guy is trying to shoot it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, if I can identify the attacker, I will block him.
Identify. Good approach. But how would you identify? What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Usually, if you know your IP address, I mean the IP address of the company, the device that you have in your company, if
Okay.
you know about that, so it will be like an unknown IP and you can block him.
Okay. Not your IP, this guy's IP, right?
Yeah.
You need to know that IP address. So you're going to find out if you go back to lecture, what did we talk about today? Well, it was all about logs. It was all about monitoring, right? IDS, IPS, logs, or different type of things, firewalls. So yes, you have to then, as an engineer, first to open up those type of logging systems, or even in this web server, you would have commands to run that, okay, what kind of connections are keep getting hit, but it's not easy to just go for every single connection. You have to have some kind of tool, right? So let's just say, assume that you are using those type of tools, that Splunk is there. He showed you that single standalone, application. So you found out an IP address of this person. The simple solution is a yes, you will block it, right? So then there's no way this person can attack you because the main IP of this person is blocked, right?
Yes.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so now what if this person is so smart that he's using some zombies? There are about more than 1,000 machines, and each and every one have a different IP address, and everybody's attacking your website. Now, how would you block that?
Are they sending the same type of file?
Same type of file? No, it's just connections. They're just hitting your website. They just want to open your website because your port 80 or 443 is open, right? So you cannot block your port there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing. They just want to connect to it, but there's so many, it's going to still exhaust your server.
Can I use the authentication? Can I?
Well, authentication is still there, but still your website is still open to the public to web surf it, right? Unless you just totally block your website to not give anything out, but not. Have you seen anywhere where Microsoft asks you to log into the main page of their website? No, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can just search whatever their products are. So you cannot just shut down your products. So this guy is attacking thousands of IP addresses, and now you're like clueless, right? Because, okay, you're going to block one IP, you're going to block this IP, but what about these other IPs address? You still have a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So to counter that, let's clear all of this. To counter that, we have a little modern solution, which is now by default 95, probably more than that, percent people, even individual level people, are using this type of techniques to do that. Because like I said before, we had this headache of DDoS, and we were just crying all day, like, what the hell is going on here? There's no way to fix this. So now there are other solutions too, but one of the more well-known solutions, and just to get a job and to know that you're going to get into a job and they're going to be using such solutions, expect something like CF, like Cloudflare. That's just one big company that you're going to definitely hear the name somewhere. So now you have CF, the same scenario. Attacker is right here. This is your company. This is a web server. And this is your website. How does it work? you have this guy right here with the laptop sitting here trying to attack your website. But what happened if this person is trying to attack your website, try to open it from, let's say, 1,000 IP addresses this guy have? What's going to happen? By this method that I'm showing you.
Redirected?
Yeah, so not redirected, but this CF is in middle. So your website is actually running from here, and then it goes to the public. So this, all of this website, and you're right, like it's like almost similar as redirected, but it's going through Cloudflare, right? So it's going from the Cloudflare connection. So then Cloudflare have smart security in place to say, okay, you are not a good connection. You're being trying some malicious stuff. I don't like this because a lot of people complained about you before, or maybe I know because of my AI, I am telling you that you are not a good, this is not a good attack. This is not a normal traffic. So I'm going to basically block you, and I'm not going to let you even get to the server. So my server for the whole world is available right now. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So practically, if I show you something like this in a real example, this is how it's happening right now. This is a Cloudflare. And if somebody say, okay, you want to know the whole events from that, from top level, these are the 24 hours worth of data, 1,669, and how many people got blocked? If let's say these were malicious IP addresses, how many people got blocked right now? 9, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can then go as an engineer, I can go and say, you know what, some people are complaining in India, they're not able to access my website. So then I can troubleshoot that, because it's not going to be always 100% correct thing. You're going to have to go back and troubleshoot things. So I can go to the firewall rules and I can actually see what's going on, from which country did it got challenged, or which country is complaining. So maybe I got a rule set up, so then I can go and change it. Like in 24 hours from Croatia, look at the amount of hits that it was hitting the website, and it got challenged how many times? So many times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is where something you need to go. We talked about bots. So bots, like I said, some are good bots, some are bad bots, some are humans. So basically you can see these are humans. These are verified bots. These are Google and other places that you want your website to be indexed. And some are automated and some are likely to be automated. So some can be blocked just by this system because maybe it's a bad bot, and that could go under the blocking. Look at the DDoS right here. It says right here, automatic mitigation. I mean, I never can pronounce this. Hefa, you can help me with this.
Mitigation.
Mitigation.
You said it right, by the way.
Yeah, okay. So HTTP based DDoS, look at this, HTTP floods, all of that stuff is what? Being blocked by this feature right here. So I can configure it, right? I can come over here, change it. I can higher the sensitivity of that. And then it's protecting all of the requests that is going to go under that JobSkill share. And what is JobSkill share? Basically, it's running under a server, right? So I need to protect my server from that type of attacks. So you can see that how a modern world technology for security related works. If it was a normal agents, then another solutions, like, for example, we have cloud solutions. Like this is a cloud solution right here, where you have an endpoint manager running from a website. This is like a cloud solution right now. So this application is under some data center that is, let's say, in Europe or US, somewhere in New York. But I can access the management piece of it. What I can do, I can actually go in there and I can go to the devices and I can basically install some of these devices, like right here, by going into bulk installation and then do the Windows, Mac, or Linux, and then I can go into that real device. Let's say if this is the device right here. Let's connect to it quickly. I think it's having a little issue right here. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so just example, this would be like a system where I can just connect, install this package on it. So what will happen then? Then I can manage the security of this system from here then. So if that agent, somebody's going to the bad websites, opening bad links or trying to run applications, I can do a lot of control just because I have that agent installed on it. It can be anywhere all around the world. I mean, I can be somewhere in New York and your laptop could be somewhere in Japan, and you can open your laptop. As long as me and you can connect, your agent have internet connection, I will be able to control your machine, control its behavior, control its application behavior. I can recover things for you. I can restrain things for you. All of that stuff can happen like that. And that is where I think most of the companies are now moving. And that's why you have a Windows Defender solution from Microsoft. You have AMP, Advanced Malware Protection from Cisco. You have Symantec from Broadcom now. The company is bought by Broadcom, by the way. That's another solution right there. They have a cloud solution. There's so many solutions. So when you go into a company, you're going to face something like this. I hope this little, visual explanation helped you just to grab what we have covered so far.